All right, guys. So pretty much had a good day today. Well over $1,000 trading NSRN. Um, you know, Today was a prime example of showing you guys how you need to be prepared for the day by having your watch list and everything like that set up, and also being able to look for new possibilities throughout the day, because it's plenty of times where what you think is going to happen throughout the day might not happen, and then something else that might be important jumps in the way. And even at that point, you got to decide, whether or not you're going to do one or the other, or maybe even take both. There was a lot of opportunity in the market today, and this right here kind of shows you the importance of having like either a community or a chat room. And another prime example of why we limit, the people that we let into the chat room and stuff like that, because we don't want to get bogged down with too much information. But you also want to have, people in your community that are, contributing to your success. Even today in the chat room, we had, a lot of other traders talking about, MULN, BBIG, other stocks that ran today as well, aside from the alerts. And being able to see what they're seeing and engaging in what they're engaging with gives you the ability to grow as a trader, because now you're able to see different trades from different perspectives and also be able to capitalize on that opportunity. Congrats to all you that were banking today. I mean, pretty much everyone that traded was, making money, which is good. Is exactly what I want you to, to be doing. But also you want to utilize those resources as well to make yourself a better trader. So whether you're doing good in a trade or bad in a trade, you still want to make sure you're, engaging in all your steps in your trading plan correctly. Okay. So what we're going to do here is just kind of go over NSRN trade and, review all the steps that was taken to enter the trade and to exit the trade. And it's going to show you a prime example of how, everything that I uploaded inside the Learning Lounge. In fact, the latest, reading that I uploaded for you guys is a prime example of, utilizing your resources, because exactly what is entailed in what I uploaded last week is exactly what happened this morning. So, had you maybe even, engaged in the reading over the weekend, you probably would have been more prepared for what happened today on Monday than you would have been, last week when you didn't read it. So this is why, I stress to you guys that, learning consistently is very important when it comes to trading. It's just part of your job. And as you can see, not even 30 minutes, 40 minutes into the day, my day's done. A couple grand made, and, gonna go enjoy my day. So let's take a look at this review with NRSN. We'll touch on what I was talking about as far as what you're gonna learn in the Learning Lounge from the reading, and be able to see it kind of in real time. And you can go back and replay the same trade, through Webull like I show you guys, or, even do the replay, on TradingView, or do both. So you can kind of see the level 2 action, and you can also see the chart action, put the two together and see, oh, that's how you're able to see, what you're able to see, and decide, make decisions from there on what to do with your trade. All right. So let's take a quick look here. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you have any questions, just let me know. Put them in the comments below. Okay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this trade here with NRSN. Pretty simple trade, but I want to kind of just touch on, how everything that I uploaded in the Learning Lounge for you guys kind of contributes to a factor of, how I was able to successfully trade this, stock today here. So we'll just go ahead and kind of, jump into it from the beginning. Okay. So obviously, first thing in the morning, of course, this here is pre-market right here, but we got alerted at this thing at like 5:30ish time frame. So already, you should be having probably 3 to 6 stocks that you're looking at, and that you should have on like your platform that you're viewing different charts, because not every stock is going to trade the setup that you want to trade. I already had about 6 stocks I was looking at, including NRSN during pre-market. Got up, seeing there wasn't much movement, went back to sleep, got up again a little bit in pre-market, and began to just kind of search to see if I missed anything, worthwhile. So I already had NILE, UTME on my watch list. CUN was up there, of course. Mullen was up there, and VEON was on there as well too, and a few others from the watch list. But I had narrowed it down to like those 6. Then we got that alert with NRSN, so I pulled that up. excuse me. So we got that alert at like 5:32, right? Which is like right here, or 5:32, which is 8:32 Eastern time if you're Eastern time. So we got that alert here with the spike up. There's our catalyst right there, FDA clearance. It's always good news with FDA clearance for a stock. Okay, so this is bright and early. Obviously, the start starts to pull back and fade, and we even kind of mentioned it in the chat room that hey, things are starting to slow down in the market. Um, just kind of keep that in mind. But obviously you're not going to be chasing, this because I tell you guys all the time, don't chase an initial spike alert. Wait for the pullback on the moving averages so that the averages are in your favor, right? It pulls back here, and then you might want to get in right here, but you see that it's not really moving much. That should be easy to tell in pre-market. If you don't see much, volume coming in or much buy orders coming in, and the price movement isn't there, there's pretty easy indication that it's not going to be breaking anything. Um, but here is where it should really have caught your eye. Okay, okay. So here's the opening bell, right? You got the little golden cross here with the VWAP and the EMA crossing, which is a good indication of bullish signs to come. Okay, I mean it's not always perfect indication, but it's a good indication where the odds are in your favor, which is perfectly fine. The main thing that I focused on here was this initial break past the 250 58 area, which was right around here, and we got that alert again around 298, which is like right here, like hey, it's broken past the previous highs of the pre-market highs. That's a good indication. I'm not worried about it breaking highs from yesterday's or highs from 3 weeks ago. That's not going to really tell me much of what's going to happen today. But when it breaks the pre-market high, that means more people are looking at it, more people are engaged in it, and that is more opportunity there. On top of the fact that it had really good volume. And as you guys seen from my post, I had got in there at 3:03, I think it was, so a little bit after that alert went through. And the way I kind of gauged that, and the reason why I got into that, if you were kind of paying attention to the tape, which is the time and sales tape, and level two, during that time, it had a flood of buy orders come in. I mean, this all right here, this time and sales was just like flooded green. So that right there was a great indication for me to go ahead and get into it. Price action is going to always trump any kind of chart setup for me because price action is a leading indication and chart setups are lagging indications. Okay. So worst case scenario, I knew that I would at least have a good level of support where it was a lot of false breakouts happening. And, we had mentioned that out in the chat room. Everything that was kind of up like, you know, C, SCPS, all those things were kind of just breaking and then falling. Sorry. I think actually there's another runner happening right now. Give me a quick second. Let me look at that alert there. Yeah, no, it's not running. But yeah, so pretty much, that breakout was kind of the indication for me to kind of get into it to the stock. So I jumped in at like 303, um, and my risk to reward there was going to be if it broke um, the previous support level. So I had obviously the new highs becomes, you know, the new highs become the old highs become the new level of support. Sorry guys, it's been a long morning, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So got in there, and you can see it never pulled back. So when I got in there, being the fact that I was getting in when it was already high, I was going to attempt to do my, wave strategy that I do. If you guys, have the course like that, you know how that, is. And pretty much it worked out perfectly because guess what? This thing just kept riding and riding and riding. There was no indication to get out of the trade at that point, even in here in dips, because I knew for a fact that one, this was a dip. The way this red candle was, I'm not panic selling because all these other indications are showing here that it still has room to rise because of where they were at. This was a good dip buy. And some of you guys did the dip buy. Congrats on you that did. There was another dip buy here. Now, at some point, there was a halt. Um, and I didn't get out in the halt. And the reason why is because, one, I was already up. So I already had a good entry, had a good reason to stay in the halt. But also, two, there was no other indication to kind of get out as well too. A lot of you guys got freaked out at this point. I believe it was right here, a little bit after the halt, um,
because of what happened with the candlesticks. No, it's actually right here. 45, yeah. So it was halted like right here. Then it broke down, showed a little bit of support. Then it began to consolidate right here. And I was fine with that. So many of you probably got freaked out and faked out right here um, in this area, but you're not realizing that this was the same level of support. I still didn't get out there either. um, I didn't get out to like this break right here because I figured at that point it's getting exhausted. We're going into the lunch hour, volume was going to slow down, and I didn't want to have to sit the way through all that and be greedy since I was already up so much. So I went ahead and got out on the next. I was waiting on the next turnaround here, the moving average, to go ahead and get out. So I did, and that's pretty much what happened. So you can see here it consolidated. The reason why a lot of you guys freaked out in the chat room about this because this happened so fast. If you have time, rewind, go to Webull and do the replay option that I showed you guys. Look at level 2 and look at the movement from, if you're Eastern time, from 10:43 through 10:47. That's 4 minutes of just reviewing apart. Or if you're Eastern time, obviously from 7:43 to 7:47. Look at that time frame. That's going to be from like here to here. Watch as this candlestick forms here. Look at level 2, and you'll see the flashes of buys orders and sell orders getting executed because many of you were kind of gauging off, many traders who trade off of what they learned from YouTube and stuff like that was probably gauging this right here and looking at this pattern, you know, as a either a failing or rising flag, however you want to, contribute it to call it. Um, and so they went ahead and placed, buy and sell orders, to go ahead and measure the risk reward. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't use hard stops and profit takes because market makers take those out. This thing flashed red to green so fast. There's no way you would have been able to execute that order if it wasn't already placed. And so what happened was market makers went ahead and took those orders out right here. And you'll see that clearly within level 2, which is why what I uploaded in the Learning Lounge covers visually seeing the price action in level 2 for you guys. Those books are great. YouTube is only going to show you but so much. But yeah, so I was looking at that at this happened. I was like, well, that was kind of, scary for those of you who aren't in it. The reason why I stayed in it is because I seen that it never broke that 550. Once it would have broke that 550, I'd have been like, okay, it's time to go ahead and take profit, but it didn't. And I went ahead and just, waited for the next turnaround and got out on the green candle. Um, and took my profits. If I would have held a little longer, yeah, I would have made a little bit more, but I'm not going to be greedy. There's no point. It popped again, and you would have seen that as well too. If you would have seen that here, the level of support that was still holding around this 550 area. It seems to love this 550 area. As you can see here, it popped up again to $8. So it's been having some moves here. Now it's right back down to the $6 level. And there's no telling where it's going to end up the rest of the day. You still got power hour to come and all that other good stuff. But I just wanted to kind of brush over that trade here with you guys so you can kind of get an idea and concept of what I was looking at within NRSN. Once I got into the trade and once I'm in a trade, I'm looking at level 2 just to see if it's going to formulate whatever strategy that I'm going to use, whether it be my VWAP strategy, whether it be my wave rise strategy, whether it be my avalanche strategy. I'm looking at that level 2 because I'm not trying to be in the trade for that long. I spent probably 45 minutes to an hour in this trade. Took me like 15-20 minutes just to view it. As we were in the chat room and everything, I was telling you guys I didn't see anything interesting but MULN. And if you're in MULN, I mean, that's still a good trade, I think, in my opinion. I'm not going to comment my opinion on the stock itself, but as far as trading it, yeah, you have opportunity. Some people are saying it could go to $10. So they say I'm not, do your own due diligence. I'm not in this trade, but there is opportunity in here, upside and downside. You can trade it how you want. But I seen a lot of you guys banked on that in the chat room as well too, and you know it was just an overall good day. This is a great start of the week, so you guys have ample opportunity to start ahead. Hopefully, that if your trades were green, and if not, you'll just have opportunity to make that up. So don't get discouraged if you are down. Just kind of review your trades for sure. Review the trade you took, why you took it, how you felt when you took it, what the outcome was, what a plan is going forward. I mean, that's basics of the trading journal that I showed you guys, and there's plenty more, than that to help you improve your trading. But that was NRSN guys in a nutshell. So if you would have took the time and probably even studied or just kind of read that book put in there for the learning lounge for you guys on like price action and stuff like that, you would have been able to easily see what happened here, um, decided when to take a trade, when not to take a trade, and you'd be able to catch key things like big orders like this level of resistance getting taken out or levels of support getting taken out, and you'll be able to plot your trade from here to there on which one you're gonna do. And as a matter of fact, anybody that's in the course, we're gonna have a whole section over this, where we're talking about price action level 2 and getting in and out of trade. And I'm going to show you guys how I measure that, as far as my entry points and exit points to do either or. It's not as it's simple, but it's not as obvious as most people might think it is. And this is where a lot of traders get that wrong. So I'll just kind of take a little bit more time to kind of show you guys on that. But for you guys, just kind of viewing the video, I just want to kind of show you what I was looking at on NSRN. Okay, so hopefully this video helped you out. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Other than that, hopefully we have a great week. Continue to stay green and make some more money. All right. Till then, guys, stay green.